Gràcies per ser aquí, ara sí.
Thank you. Okay, so here we go. Welcome, dear speakers, friends, authorities, athletes.
Encara tinc potència, ja ho controlarem. Gràcies a
The interpreters apologize, they can't hear the speaker.
És una l'Escola de Formació Tecnològica Esportiva Exterior de la Generalitat de Catalunya.
With the support of Loteries de Catalunya. Sorry. We will be followed live via YouTube. The interpreters apologize, but the sound is not reaching us correctly.
Aquí, a l'Auditori 1899 del futbol.
We'll have 2 days of this conference here at Auditorium 1899 at FC Barcelona. We will be exchanging and sharing experience, good practices, first-hand knowledge of what women's sports are, elite women's sports are, and everything that needs to be done to reach elite sports. There will be plenty of stories which we're sure will be very exciting to all of you. The future is now, and we all want to be playing there. So let's kick off. First of all, we will welcome to the stage Mr. Gerard Esteva, President of UFEC, Mr. Eduard Romeu, Economic Vice President of FC Barcelona, Ms. Muntsa Vilalta, Director General for Foreign Action of the Government of Catalonia, Mr. David Escuder, the Councillor for Sports at the Council of Barcelona, the City Council of Barcelona, and Ms. Ana Caula, Secretary General for Sports at the Government of Catalonia. Thank you.
Bona tarda a tots. Per començar...
Good afternoon, everybody. Mr. Gerard Esteva will begin by welcoming us. Thank you very much.
We are in Barcelona, the capital of Catalonia, a little country with a long history and a big love for sports. We organized the most beautiful Olympic Games just 30 years ago. And I have the honor to preside over the Union Sports Catalan federations, which represent more than 12,000 clubs, more than 71 federations and sports, and more than 750,000 athletes. So we can say we are the big umbrella organization of Catalonia. Our federations and us are working hard to equality of women's rights and participation in sport. For that reason, we can explain today that we organized this Congress to give tools to our clubs to increase the presence of women in sports in all roles. We have created also the Women Executive Sports Education for give tools to our women athletes for achieve her goals. And we lead also the European project which is designed to analyze the number of women's lessons and take action in order to increase it. In this Congress, we can see different examples of women in sport who, after their athletics careers, have become leaders in their sport and institutions. Vull fer un especial agraïment a totes les institucions que ens...
I would like to especially thank the institutions that are here with us, all of the authorities, members of the city councils, and members of the federations, former Catalan ministers, Secretary General, the Barcelona Football Club, the city of Barcelona. My life revolves around Secretaries General. Not all of them are women, but many of the women are the ones who are really in charge, in fact. I don't know if you've heard of Catherine Switzer. She was the first woman in 1955 to race in the Boston Marathon. It took her more than 5 hours to complete the marathon, but that was because she had to be escorted by her husband and several of their friends, because there were eggs being thrown at her and people were spitting at her, and basically nobody wanted women in the Boston Marathon. When she finished the race, they asked her to assess the what she'd experienced, and she said, let's stop running, let's stop talking about the marathon and just run. So we have to talk about women's sports, but above all, we have to believe in women in sport and make it happen. Many of you will have heard of this. I love my children. They're young, 7, 5, and 3. My oldest daughter, Sibila, is 7 years old. I've been calling her Madam President since she was born. I don't call her little princess. I call her President, Madam President. Because I think children need to be aware from childhood of their empowerment, because if we empower them, then they will really manage to conquer the world in the future. And so I think that's the attitude that we need, and we have to set that kind of example to make things happen the way Catherine Switchen did in 1950. Now, off program, let me tell you that today, by just saying Women UFEC, you will be able to attend the party that is part of this conference. It's also in a place that is very much linked to Barcelona, in Luz de Gas, discotheque or evening club. It's very well associated with football club, with Barcelona Football Club, and I would recommend that you go there. Just so enjoy this, learn, and empower women. The future of sport is for women, and long live sports for women.
Quina gran idea, li copio, senyor Esteva.
What a wonderful idea, Mr. Esteva. If I have a daughter, I will call her Madam President. I love it. Now, we have the economic vice president of Barcelona Football Club here. He did not hesitate to make Barcelona Football Club the host of this conference. So why did you choose to support it, Mr. Romeu? We can't hear the gentleman very well. I would like to congratulate Anna and I always run into each other in all sorts of sports events, but especially women's sports events. Congratulations on holding this. It's an honor for us to have the very first edition of this Congress held here in our auditorium. On behalf of the institution, we would like to welcome you all to our headquarters. And I'm certainly going to answer your question. The reason is a very clear one. Barcelona is more than just a football club, and one of the reasons is that it is committed to certain things, and one of them is equal representation and equality. And I think we have set an example there, and we believe in opportunities for women, not only in football, but in sports in general. It's a commitment by the club as an institution. On a daily basis, we support this. We feel that female athletes have attained a lot through their efforts and perseverance, and so they deserve the opportunity to be admired in their work, and Barcelona is there behind them. Thank you, Mr. Romeu. We also have Ms. Mutza Vilalta, Director General for Foreign Action at the Government of Catalonia. One of the purposes of this conference is to raise the visibility of the profile of Catalonia internationally, So what is the significance of sports in terms of Catalonia's visibility to the world? Good afternoon. I'd like to first of all say, as the Vice President has done, I'd like to thank UFEC and the whole team that has organized this. So thank you very much. I know there's a lot of work behind this. This was a necessary Congress. It's the first edition, but we hope it won't be the last one. We're sure it won't be. In any case, it's a very timely Congress. I would also like to welcome the words of the minister, the Catalan Minister for Sports. She's in Strasbourg right now. Anyway, as to the question whether sports are relevant to Catalonia's visibility to the world, clearly, obviously. Catalonia is open to the world. Historically, it's committed to attaining international visibility. But we also like to say that the international visibility of Catalonia is not only built abroad, it's also built internally. And this Congress is one instance of internationalization and of international visibilization. And so we need to make Catalonia visible in many, many spheres, and we do that in many spheres, technology, education, and so forth. But given the high visibility and the high profile of sports internationally, given the way sports can really transform a country, sports can drive values, they can engage every level of the community. In Catalonia, we also have a huge and a really rich fabric and tapestry of organizations, clubs, and grassroots. So the international projection of sport is a relevant sphere for the international visibility of Catalonia. And then my third point would be about women in sports. We cannot do without the values provided by sports and what sports contribute to the world. Sports also provide the representation of different countries to the rest of the world, and so it's important to have women represented there as well, so that we can all be seen as we are. Thank you, Ms. Vilalta. We also have Mr. David Escudé, a member of the City Council of Barcelona. Barcelona is number 4 in the world ranking of sports cities. And my question is this: is it just a pipe dream, or would it be feasible for us to make Barcelona the top city, the number 1 city for women's sports? Well, I'm a very competitive sort of person, so I would say yes, we'll do that, and we're working on it. We're in that game. I mean, so I'm a runner, so this is definitely a long distance race, but it's there. We're in it. I see Enric Beltran is here. This wonderful president of the Catalan Swimming Federation. I mean, the girls have provided such a success. And, here we have the vice president of Barcelona. We know what the Barcelona female team has done and achieved. I mean, the fact that the press is starting to cover the hiring of new female players and so forth is also part of it. So we're working on that. The city believes in it. It's really committed to this sort of approach. It's created bodies that have not existed before. It has allocated a budget to this approach. And it's also that is something borne in mind when sports circuits and sports facilities are designed. I mean, it's not only thinking in terms of grassroots participation, but also thinking in terms of women's leadership in sports and so on and so forth. So, challenge accepted. Okay, thank you very much. Could you just stand together in the center of the stage for your photograph, for your group picture? Oh, sorry, that's right. That's right, yes, yeah, we're sorry, it's too early for the picture. My mistake. Oops. We're still waiting. We still have to hear from the secretary. Well, that's the kind of thing that happens when you're working live. But, you know, when we operate in the world of sports, we're used to that sort of thing. The Secretary General for Sports. These days, we're experiencing a lot of change. We're experiencing a revolution. And in the world of sports, that change is about women. I mean, I'm a bit of a rebel as an athlete, as a coach. People seem to have the impression that women in sports suddenly happened a couple of years ago, but suddenly the media have become interested in this, but it's been around for a while. So the thing is, things that are not named do not appear to exist. Women's sports have been around, and women have already broken a lot of barriers, but what's happening right now is that there is a flourishing. There was one year in which on March 8th, women demonstrated not just, to make demands, but also to say, hey, we have our personality, we're there, and we're entitled. And this is what we're experiencing. We're no longer seeking permission. We're not, right now we're out there. We're out there because we deserve to be there. People will talk about women's sports and talk about equality. And I like to say, you know what? We're not the same. We're not the same. We have genetic differences, we have different ways of expressing ourselves, and we have to say that. Women's sports are different. They're a different kind of show. Not better or worse, it's different. But equal opportunities are definitely a right that we've conquered, and that is the right that we're demanding to exercise. You know, when you start a marathon, if people start the marathon at different places, at different spots in the track, it's only to be expected that some of them will be arriving later. So we have to talk about this, and so we have to discuss it. We have to contribute a lot in the background and have lots of experiences. We at the government of Catalonia believe that sports have to be part of the country. They're about the way we build our society. They provide values that are the basis for building everything else. And we're here not only to talk about women in sports, we're innovating. We said this would be the mandate, the legislature devoted to women's sports, but it has to be done through action, things such as this Congress, but also other actions, so that because everybody really believes that women's sports have to be out there, and the institutions have to enable this and have to leverage all the energy devoted to it. In women's sports, we have quadrupled support for women's sports, so that the support is really there and not just symbolic. Actual support that will make women's teams happen. When you look at the people supporting a professional men's team, you see that there you have several coaches and you have physiotherapists and so on and so forth. Well, women should have the same kind of support in their teams. And in addition to supporting the teams that are at the top level in Spain, we also have to support the teams in the second tier, because in this way you can attain excellence, and excellence is the result of working really well in the background. And the point is not excellence per se. The point is that if you're doing things properly, if you're working hard, if you're stimulating love of sports among children, then you will ultimately have elite athletes. Next Saturday, we will have an event in Catalonia that is a very important one in Tarragona. We will have something never seen before. All of women's sports in Catalonia, the 100 best women's teams in all kinds of sports will all be represented together in Tarragona. Because if I asked you to name women's teams that come to mind, I don't know if you could name any or many. And you could certainly, I'm sure you could name a lot more teams in men's sports. So, you know, bear that in mind. Let's do this through actions. Let's do this through words. Let's do this through events such as this one. But above all, let us inundate this country with women's sports, and let us know that we can together make it all happen. We can build Catalonia that will be strong and powerful and internationally visible. Thank you very much.
Gràcies, senyora Caula.
Thank you, Ms. Caula. It was worth the wait. Now we will have the group picture, and then straight away we will hear the next speaker, our guest of honor, we might say. We'll have that group picture, and then we'll continue with the opening of this International Women in Sports Congress. You look lovely. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. You look lovely on screen. And now, on screen, because she couldn't be here in person but didn't want to miss this event, is one of the major athletes in history. Only Raya Lotte and Michael Phelps have won more medals than she has. She won 2 Olympic medals in the 3 Olympic Games that she took part in. She couldn't be here with us today, but she did want to greet us. She is a reference, she is a myth in sports among Catalans and in Spain and in the world. Ona Carbonell. Let's welcome her virtually.
Tecnologia, així que tranquil·litat. Intentarem que es connecti.
Okay, we'll wait for a little while. As you know, Ona has had her second child. She's enjoying her maternity leave, and she is probably not far away, but unfortunately she couldn't be here with us today. And I'm sure that it's always enriching to listen to Ona Carbonell. Very compelling and very enriching everything she has to say, and I believe that we will be very grateful. I advise you to see her documentary if you haven't yet. I think it's very touching and very moving, everything that she has overcome in her sports career, and also the fact that she's a role model for many athletes when trying to juggle her role as a mother and top performance sports. She has proven that this is possible, but she has also been ruled out by some people when this has happened, and I believe it's quite an interesting testimonial to listen to Ona, a person that we all admire and love for who she is, and also the commitment that she has shown towards sports in Catalonia. She's always more than willing to help us and to join conferences like this one. Please let me know if Ona is already on the line, if we are able to listen to her. She's going to offer some words. This will not be a formal interview. She has given enough interviews as it is. And, well, let's see what she's going through in her life right now. At the end of the day is yet another obstacle. Would like to know more about her in terms of sports and also her personal life, as much as she wants to share with us, obviously. There she is. Ona Carbonell, good afternoon. Hi, how are you guys? Can you hear me? I hope you can. I would like to begin by thanking the Union of Sports Federation Catalonia for organizing such an important event, and everyone who is in the auditorium and those of us who are listening through Sport Plus. I believe that today's forum is extremely important because we can exchange experiences, to share our positive experiences, and also to speak about women in sport. Let's hope that in a matter of years we don't have a need to meet again to speak about this, because this will mean that there's equal rights for everyone in the field of sports, men and women. But still, it's important to see how things have evolved, to be grateful, to also thank institutions, federations, Danae as the MC, journalists, referees, and sports people, everyone who is struggling every day for sports to keep making headway and hopefully achieve that equality that is so necessary. I believe that a lot of progress has been made. When I was a child, all of our role models were men. They were all male athletes. And today, luckily enough, we have Carolina Marin, Mireia Belmonte, Miria Valentin. We can speak about sports that are somewhat emerging, which didn't exist before, badminton, water polo, weightlifting, and things are evolving. And it's important to be grateful and to understand that things have moved on. But still, we need to keep fighting. There are many stages in sports, in women's sports, that need to improve, such as scholarships and grants, obviously. And in my case, well, I cannot be with you today, and I apologize because I'm on my maternity leave. Maternity is one of the things that need to evolve and improve in the field of sports. I was fortunate to have an opportunity to be a mother, and well, after the games in Tokyo, things have evolved quite a lot. I was told by a colleague that when she was a mother, it was very difficult for her. I had many people helping me, but when you go through this, you realize there are so many things that are not yet there and that should be helping you. I mean, they're absolutely necessary, but still they're not guaranteed. So thank you so much for continuing to claim what's necessary to help female sports become more visible and to keep improving. I have a lot of time, so I'm not here to tell you about my whole story. However, I do want to thank all of the female athletes that are there today. I know that you have a roundtable coming up with young sports girls with a wonderful present and an amazing future ahead of them. It's very important to support these athletes. They're so committed. They've already won many medals. But sharing your free time, coming here today while you're recovering or training, and also helping us move forward, not only by winning medals, but also by sharing your personal stories and helping the world know more about our female sports and everything that needs to change. And I believe that we will make this world a little better, especially the world of sports. So that's it for me. Thank you all very much. I hope you enjoy this forum. And I'm still here on my maternity leave. Thank you, Ona. We love you. Please never change. Ona Carbonell, always a pleasure to listen to her, and the fact that she agreed to be an ambassador of this International Women in Sports Congress. Okay, so this was the opening session. We will now move on to the next panel discussions. There will be a lot of roundtables both today and tomorrow, which is why I'm going to ask Jessie Engelhardt, and she will be leading the afternoon session. She will be with you. She will be introducing all the roundtables that will take place here in this building. Thank you all for being here, and I'll leave this to Jessie. Thank you.
Hola. 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 Muchas gracias, Danae.
Thank you so much, Danae. Good afternoon. As my colleague Danae rightfully said, we're going to begin with the roundtables of today. The first one is called Follow a Dream. And we're going to discover the sports careers of some of our top athletes who are here. We will learn more about their stories of endurance as well as their professional challenges that they have had to meet. So I'm going to give the floor to Astrid Fina. You can come on stage, please. Paralympic snowboard medalist. Britt Vonk, who's a Dutch softball player. Hannah Fernandez, who's a player from FC Barcelona. Georgina Oliva, who's a field hockey player. And journalist Begoña Villarrubia, who will be moderating this table. Welcome and thank you.